there. We're going to recite the poem in just a moment or two, and then sit for 30 minutes. And then while we're sitting, before it's going to be a minute, we'll get ready to go till 7:45. What I'd like you to do is just feel into that truth, the truth of my own Buddha nature. Where's that? And what you think that's supposed to look like. I would say be careful not to look for ease. Be a little bit careful not to look for complete stillness. Be a little cautious about believing you've now been, it's a profound, boundless, really lovely concepts. I would say look for touching into the truth of something and staying. Or look for touching into the truth of the ache, the heartache, the grief, the confusion, the fear, the love, and abiding, breathing with, being with, and letting it be embodied rather than imagining it is some way. If I could only get some other way, is often a belief, then I'd have it together. No, it would be how to greet yourself as you are then, and love that, and stay with that, and open to that, and abide with that. Maybe that would be enlightened, that breath. Right, that one breath. And then we got the job again. Right, the in-breath comes, and then we're compelled one more time to do that breath with those sensations and those thoughts and those emotions. So this is why enlightened, what? Let's be careful. So let's prepare to sit. I will read this for us as we begin. Take one more sip of whatever for yourself. We're going to be dropping in. In this tradition, then, the Dzogchen tradition says everything a path, everything enlightened, everything enlightenment, everything you notice is good. Everything you reject, if you see the rejection, that's good too. There's no way to mess it up, essentially, except to go off into wanting, to go off into preferring, to go off into not this, to go off into why. Right, all of this would be seen as everything but embodied presence, and so we'll resist the reality. And then John O'Donohue, here I'm going to read this poem, has this sense of everything then works with you, including the ground, including the sun, including the sky, is working with you for that embodied presence. So here we go, preparing to sit. On the day when the weight deadens on your shoulders, when the weight deadens on your shoulders and you stumble, may the clay dance to balance you. And when your eyes freeze behind the gray window and the ghost of loss gets into you, may a flock of colors, indigo, red, green, and azure blue, come to awaken in you a meadow of delight. When the canvas frays in the karak of thought and a stain of ocean blackens beneath you, may there come across the waters a path of yellow moonlight to bring you safely home. May the nourishment of the earth be yours. May the clarity of light be yours. May the fluency of the oceans be yours. May the protection of the ancestors be yours. Let me read that again. May the nourishment of the earth be yours. May the clarity of light be yours. May the fluency of the oceans be yours. May the protection of the ancestors be yours. And so may a slow wind work these words of love around you, an invisible cloak to mind your life, an invisible cloak of presence, of enlightenment, of beingness, of awakening, to mind this moment as we sit. Thank you, everyone. Just going to check in since I don't think it's a good day for going into too much more talking. I just want to check in with you on that practice, see if there are any comments or questions. Hopefully you can feel its benefit in contributing to our moment by moment awakening. Moment by moment, yeah. And then we keep doing it, even when our eyes aren't closed, and even when our hands aren't folded, and even when we're not sitting. And that's when it gets really interesting, doesn't it? Because that's a lot harder to do, which is why we sit still and quiet for a time, so that we can see the propensities, the proclivities, the kleshas, and the goodness, right? It's all here. And we can feel the reality of it, not just think about it, because the thinking will not be enough. It is never enough. It will never be enough. We have to embody. We have to really feel the truth of our interconnectedness, our interbeing, and our own basic goodness. Just by your willingness to be here today, it's really the day after Christmas. How easy would this be? Got a lot of cleaning up to do, a lot of stuff to be, right, sorting and returning and whatever, right? And yet you chose this for a really quite a bit of time, which is, by itself pretty dramatically impressive, given the call from the material world, which would be do something, don't waste time in simply being. And it is, in fact, the best thing we could possibly do. So congratulations on that wisdom and that love. Really, it got you here on a day when, wow, way easy to be doing everything else. And then if you would, for me, be committed to dropping back in, because it will be easier for you now. It's guaranteed. You have set the path. You have already directed the path for the whole of your day, which will be greater ease and greater connectedness and greater abiding than any other day you could have. You've already set that commitment. And the mind, the heart, and the body have all heard you. They have, and they will respond to that instruction in you. So congratulations there. Greg, you're on. Good morning. How are you?
Good morning. Yes.
How are things going?
Things are going well. I'm back with a living, which is nice.
It is. We're very, very happy to have you among us. Wonderful. Greg was not well for a few days there, but I might say I thought you did a pretty radical job of getting better pretty quickly.
Yes, I did. Took the medicine, and we talk about difficulty and just sort of being in difficulty. So it was sort of relaxing with the difficulty. There were multiple things going on at the same time, and just going with that and not rejecting it, just allowing, just being with it. It's like the poem.
Yes, isn't it?
It's an invitation to be present.
Yeah. And then do you see, like I do, Greg, that everything helps me there? I am never alone there. I am never abandoned there. I can feel the true energetic source of everything really supporting me.
I felt completely supported. Yes.
Can't you feel that?
Yeah.
Yeah, me too. It's really it's dramatic, isn't it?
It is.
I would say. And it's easily forgotten is the other thing I would say. you know, when we have that experience, it's so compelling, really, that just restfulness, that just presence, that just being with, it's right. And then it feels somewhat easy and workable. And then our eyes open and we stand up and the whole thing goes to hell. It's pretty amazing to me after a lot of years, how easy that also is. But remember, especially today and this week, since we will be practicing all the way up through Saturday together and then beyond, we're going to be practicing this continuing opening, abiding, resting, embracing over and over and over. How easy it is then to remember. We get better at remembering. Even in the midst of the chaos, in the midst of the maelstrom, just when some like, oh no, I don't even need to say that. I don't need to hold that harsh thought. I don't need to do more. I don't need to make it different by action. I have to begin by making it different with my own presence, my own being. And then watch the magic, really, I think, truly, of that. Watch the magic of that. It is something to behold. And then the clay holds you. The sun warms you. The love protects you in ways we often forget. Somebody, Siobhan wrote, so I'm going to look here in chat and see if I can capture that. Thank you. It says, I was struck today with the words and phrases in today's meditation that how many times I have heard these words, and instead of hearing them as repetitive and boring, where I might check out, I hear them as new and fresh every time. Yes, it is true. How many times will I need to hear these phrases to assist my waking up? Yeah, as many times as we can awaken. But that is awakening. If you heard them, you are awakened and awakening. And then you hear them again, and you begin to see that there's no better place to be, really. And we start to make some kind of little contribution, not just with the earth and the sun and the stars and the trees. We enjoin, don't we? We go, I'm going to support all of that, supporting me too, even. Like I'm going to really work to find my way into the breath and into the body and find just one moment of stillness from which to be then, says all of the teachings throughout all time, bigger, more, real, loving. And that it can't be otherwise. You couldn't stop it. Really, isn't that spectacular? You literally couldn't not do it. But we have to create right condition for it. And we are not prone to that. We just think it ought to be a certain way without our having to be a certain way. But really the recipe is you're it. You're the eggs, you're the milk, you're the cake. Everything else has been made for you. This also is written in all traditions. Isn't that amazing? Everything else is made for you to accomplish that. It's all working with you, not against you. And then, of course, because there is unpleasantness, there is loss, there is aging, there is illness, there is death, we go, life's all messed up. But really, it was here the whole time for you. And so we wake up again and again and again as many times, right? I'll forget, you'll forget, and then we'll see the forgetting and be awakened. And then we'll see it again and be awakened. And then we'll see it again and be awakened. Right? And then I guess in the end, you're just in that seeing and seeing and seeing and seeing when I'm in presence and seeing when I'm not, and then recognizing both as beautiful. Siobhan, right? Then we even see the forgetting. The seeing the forgetting is as beautiful as the remembering. And then we go, there was never a problem then at all. Really, never. I just saw the thoughts. was no problem. Didn't everybody notice? You saw him. I saw him. I'm going, am I going to get to Pilates? Am I going to make it? They're going to start complaining. I can already hear her. She's already gone, really? Do I have to go? I don't know. Maybe I don't need to go. I heard her. She's sitting right there. I got that mind. But guess what? Hold that too. Right? No problem. No dilemma. No difficulty whatsoever. Because what? We all get, that's us all. Do I need to do the new thing today? Can I start January? Sometime? Another day? Right? And then we smile at that. Because what? I know new things too. I know the scary, the right, really resistance that comes with is today not, maybe it's not the day. But see, awakened already awakened. And then whatever I do, right? It's this, you do it or you don't do it. So we have to be a little, well, maybe a lot. Don't we have to bring a lot of patience to ourselves, I think, because we have these ideas about awakening, don't we? Like something special. Oops, right? Oops, oops, oops. No, it isn't. In fact, my teacher wrote a whole book called Nothing Special. Nothing special. No, it is in each of us, this capacity. Even for those whom you would be certain it has never occurred. It is not true. They have also loved. They have also feared. They have also cared. They have also committed. Even when you went, I don't have any evidence for that. It's not true. And sometimes I think mostly we do it to ourselves, right? You see the wandering mind and then you go, see, I am failed. But your seeing was the whole time. The whole time. The whole time. The very seeing it. And remember, most of the world is doing something else right now. They are not abiding right now. They are looking at the stuff they're returning, they're packaging things, they're eating something, right? Look at what you've done. You've said, I'm going to actually just sit there for some amount of time in the midst of a sea of doing that is supported only by doing. And go, I'm going to actually do nothing but look at the quality of my own heart mind and cultivate it by the very looking. That's remarkable. That's remarkable, really, and rare. And so you celebrate you and that capacity today. Right, won't we all? I'm going to let everybody go, I think, unless there's any more that it would be useful to be said. And yes, I agree, Shaban. I think the whole thing is beautiful. I do. I think the forgetting is as beautiful because we can see that too. And then once again, simply be abiding. And whether you call that the kingdom of heaven or presence or love, I don't really care. Call it everything. Because it's all good. All right, let's sit together for just a few more minutes and then dedicate this beautiful practice. And so just finding the way to the body and the rest and the settledness and the stability of the body, whatever else is going on. Some of us are in recovery, some of us are well, some of us are on the way to getting sick, and it's all true. But we can just be with this body like this moment, that's it. And so we breathe in as deeply as we can and enliven and awaken the whole body. And we ignite the heart once again. Remember, we've already set the path for this heart today. It will only open and open and open more by virtue of this practice. And you can count on it, actually. you can count on it. And so we breathe into the good heart, making contact with that love, that basic goodness, that Buddha nature, that Christ nature, that whatever the tradition has embodied for you. Kuan Yin, Muhammad, David, and Solomon, whoever's. You can call up Grandma Irene for me. We call up the benefactors and we ask them to help us today because of our own forgetting, our own human busyness and nature. We ask for support every day. And so we call them all here and we breathe them in. We remember the love, we remember the care, the protection, the wish for our well-being that has come before us. And we soak in that good. And then we get so full of love, so full of presence, so full, so whole, so open-hearted that it simply spills out. There is nothing else to do. And then we help it with the out-breath. And that love simply flows and expands and continues until it fills all space throughout all time, touching all beings. That's how powerful that is. And we remember then the point. That was it all. Truly awakened in love. And then whatever else the circumstance, the love, the compassion, the care hold us. Doesn't mean it's not difficult, but we're held in it. And then fear is ultimately abandoned. So that we can truly rest. And we become that light, that lamp, that beacon in the dark night. And we didn't do anything yet. And then everything we do from here today, let it illuminate that light. And keep calling it to mind. Continue to breathe it in. And continue to send it on. And then this precious heart, perfect and sublime, may it arise in all moments, in all breaths, where it has not yet come to be. Every moment in the future is now an opportunity. And where it has arisen, may it flow and nourish and grow evermore. Touching all things, and all beings, until there is only Thank you all so much. On Saturday here in the garden, we are going to be doing our burning bowl ceremony. We haven't done the burning bowl for a couple years, one because of COVID, and two because of evening difficulties and challenges. We're going to do it in the morning. So we're going to have a fire here, and I'm going to ask that everybody who can't be here be writing, if you would, on separate pieces of paper, not on one piece of paper. We're going to do it on separate pieces of paper today. Any resentments, any remorse, any regret, any harshness, anything we're looking to let go of and release in this year, and open then another list that you can then put on one piece of paper. All blessings, all wishes, all hope, all aspirations, all intentions, all love. Put that on one single piece of paper. Do you get the difference? Separate regrets, resentments, remorse. Separate, what am I letting go of? What am I releasing? Separate pieces of paper. We're going to burn those on Saturday. And so I would ask that you each have something, if you're going to be at home, you'll need a plate because the ash can collect. So if you light it, we want a place where you can set it, including some kind of a plate. I will put this all in an email, but we'll begin that on Saturday morning with a practice for welcoming in the new and releasing, letting go of the old. So if you can be here, that's lovely. And if you can't be here, it's not a problem. You'll get the email today so that you can begin preparing. I have to sit with regrets, remorse, resentments a little bit because they're often hidden for me. I keep them slightly in a tucked, numbed place. I have to call them up on purpose and just create space. Because boy, they're in there, but they're way deep in the wick frequently. And, I tend to be a person who turns towards beauty and light a little more. And I go, things are good. Everything's good. And that's good. That's not bad news. But remember, they hold each other. And so we don't want to abandon what we misperceive as the problem or darkness. Remember, we've talked about already, and we'll practice then together, holding them both is the greatest, brightest, and most boundless possibility. So don't not do it. Don't not do it, please. Take the time, even when it feels achy or tender or scary. Okay? Take the time for this practice. It will be well worth it. We use it all on the path, right? So, all right, everyone, thank you so much. Wonderful to see you all. Merry Christmas, happy holiday. I think today might be Kwanzaa, I'm not sure. Yeah.
Diane, can I just say that last part of the sitting, for some reason, after what happened in the first part, for the first time, and it might be a basic thing, but I was like, started the thoughts about the, family drama or whatever. And I just kept going to my heart. And then it was very soothing. Like I went straight instead of letting myself get deeper. It was working.
Yeah, it really will, Felicia, I promise. This is the promise that was made 2,600 plus more years ago. And actually, I know it to be true as well. It doesn't mean it's not difficult, right? It doesn't mean it doesn't hurt. Some parts of life hurt, right? It's a real thing. There is real loss. There is real pain. There is confusion. But really, we can illuminate that, use that as well, so that it is not a poison, but that it is a part of the path. And that's what we're all doing. We can't turn away from it. It will not make it better. We turn towards it with love, with light, with open heartedness. We go, this too, I get this. I know this. I'm a part of this drama as well, as a part of what contributes to its end, even when I'm not the one talking. Even when I'm not the one talking. So wonderful. I'm glad you could feel that reality. We're going to keep cultivating that so that you can feel that more than you feel the distress. And that when you feel the distress, you can remember that there is this reality holding you now as well, even when it's not you yet. It's not you maybe yet, but it is all of us also holding you, and all of those others who have practiced for years and years also holding you, all those benefactors, all those Buddhas, all those Christs holding you too. So, right, even when we don't have it going on, we don't have to worry. Somebody else is right next to us doing this too, committed to this too, just like us here. So wonderful. Everyone have a beautiful Tuesday. Take it easy on yourselves, please. Please don't do too much today, just a little bit. Get back in this stream of things. I'll look forward to seeing you. Greg, Thursday, you'll be on at 7?
I will. I'll be
Great.
here at 7.
Wonderful. See you on Thursday, and then we'll see you on Saturday with a lot of paper. Okay, everyone, be well. Take care.